So, welcome back. I am in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Right? Yeah, Bowling Green, Kentucky. And it's pouring down rain. Just past the Corvette Museum. Pretty cool. I know it's raining really hard, but I haven't really taken a video or done anything in the rain or in any kind of adverse weather on video. It's been off and on. It's been pretty heavy at times. Right now it's alright, I guess. Maintaining around 60 miles per hour. I think speed limit 70. We were going a little bit slower earlier, but it's cleared up more than it was. And yeah, just trying to be as safe as possible and get through it. We are currently headed to Houston, Texas. Supposed to get to Houston tomorrow morning, and so that means I have 4 hours left on my clock. It's 9, almost 10 o'clock. Well, actually we're on Central Time now, so it's 9:55, almost 10 o'clock. Got 4 hours left. I'll shut down for the night. Been driving since about 2 o'clock this morning, 3 o'clock. And let's see. Yeah, I'll find somewhere to park. I think I can make it to Alabama. Can't remember where I told the GPS to go, but going down towards Alabama, find a place to park. I've really enjoyed this time of driving around 2, 3 in the morning. It's perfect. You hit some of the major cities before rush hour, before morning commutes, and you're able to go straight through that city without any issue. Extra lanes in the construction zones. It is Sunday, so even less traffic on the road, typically. And it's not a holiday, which is good. But it is raining pretty bad out here. So shout out to my nail tech, Bree. I went to Akron and did my 10-hour break in Akron, and as soon as I got there, I like going there because I can do some laundry, and I like getting there on days like Saturday or Sunday where all the regional and local guys are gone. Nobody's in the shop or in the headquarters at all, except for, like, you know, the dispatchers and the night crews and weekend people that are there, and the mechanics that are there. But pretty much the yard is pretty, people are asleep in the trucks, or they're at home or whatever. It's for a person like me that's OTR, over the road, to come there and have, like, I can use the washing machine, dryer, and I can take a shower without anybody else around, and just be able to use the services, and then get in my truck and go to sleep and keep it moving. They actually have, I like our headquarters in Akron. Like I said, I like the headquarters because it's small enough for me. When I was in the military, I thrived on being in small units. It's just something about it. You can move a little bit differently. It's more of a personal relationship, and it's not overwhelming. It's not huge. And I like when I go there because, one, everybody's been extremely nice. I rarely see our company trucks on the road. And like today, when I was leaving the yard, there was another driver in front of me, and we kind of kept together all the way down through Cincinnati. And I think that's when we finally kind of split. But it was cool to, like, be around another truck from my company. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, like I said, they have like 2 rooms there, so if I wanted to get out of the truck and utilize one of the rooms with beds in there, I could sleep in there. They have a driver's lounge, and yeah, just small. That's exactly what I need. I don't need much more than that. You know, I don't need no huge game room and TV. They have a TV in the driver's lounge, but I don't need much more than that. I'm here to take a nap and keep going. If I've been there on my 34s a couple times, and sometimes I have gotten a hotel just to get away, but for me, that's enough. I've seen some videos where other companies have these extravagant, they're very large companies, and they have very large like driver or terminals, and that's good. I mean, they're big enough to do that. But for me, I like the small things. But yeah. So anyway, so I was there, did all that, and I hit up my nail tech, and I was like, "Yo, are you at the shop?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, I'm getting an Uber. I'm on my way." And man, we had a great conversation. This is my second time going to her because I don't know anybody else in Akron. I don't have any networks there, but sit down with her, talk to her. She said she watches my videos, so shout out to her. She's at LV Nails Spa in Akron, or in Cahuga. Don't get me to say that. Cahuga, Kawahuka, Cuyahoga, Ball. I'll write it anyway. But no, something that she said. So she was, I'd be rambling a lot of times, and we were having a great conversation, and she was saying that she was going to start violin lessons. And I was like, really? So she's telling me about how, you know, she was gonna get a violin and, you know, take lessons online and all this other stuff. I was like, that's interesting. And it's interesting to me because when I was in middle school, I was in an orchestra. And it's a crazy, well, it's a funny story of how I ended up in the orchestra. So I had a bunch of friends in middle school who was in Lakewood Elementary and Tacoma, Washington area, Lakewood, Tacoma, Washington area. My mom was stationed there at Fort Lewis, JBLM as it's called today. And I had a bunch of friends that were in the band, and I would hear them like rocking out in the band all the time, like every day, every time they had band class and stuff. So I was like, man, I want to be in the band. And so one of my friends was like, yeah, you just go to the guidance counselor and tell her you want to come here or whatever, and they'll change it up for you. Cool. So I went down there, I talked to the lady, I said, hey, I want to be in the band. And she's like, unfortunately, we don't have any room in the band, but we do have the orchestra, and I can put you in there. And I said, well, what's an orchestra? She was like, it's like the same thing. You got instruments, it's the same thing. And it's actually right next door. I was like, oh, bet, sign me up, sign the paper, cool, I'm good to go. I go down to the orchestra room, and I walk in, and it's empty. There's 8 people in the room. I made 9. And I'm like, hi, I'm here. He's like, oh, welcome. And I was like, what is this? He's like, oh, this is the orchestra. We have, you know, violin, cello, bass, viola, and stuff like that, string instruments. I was like, this ain't what I signed up for. So I went back to the lady and I was like, yo, that's not, no, I can't do that. She was like, unfortunately, I already made the change. I'm not making another change for you. That's it. So I went back and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm here. What can you teach me? And I was the only guy, other than the instructor, conductor, or whatever you call them. It's been a long time. But I was the only guy. And I was also the only one that looked like me in the room, other than the instructor, the teacher. So I felt very out of place, but I was like, you know what, I could do this. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna put you, I saw cellos and violins and violas out there. I was like, all right, cool. 3 of the 4, I see these. This looks pretty cool, I guess I'll get into it. He's like, well, I'm gonna put you on the bass. And I said, well, what's that? He's like, oh, it's like the cello, it's just a little bit bigger, and you'll be fine. All right, cool. So I'm sitting in the room, And this guy comes out with this almost 6 foot tall looking thing, instrument, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? And he's like, this is the bass. And I was just like, dude, that's not this little cello that this person's sitting over here playing. It's all cute and small, and that is not the violin. And no, he gave me the freaking bass. So I mastered the bass. I was so good at the bass. But there were a lot of songs that we would play that did not include the bass. So either I sit out or I pick up another instrument. So I ended up learning how to play the bass, the cello, and the violin. But my brain, for some odd reason, I could not grasp the concept of the viola, a 4th string instrument. Like the different notes and all that other stuff. Like maybe if I would have stayed in it, I would have been able to do that and master all 4. But at the same time, I was middle school, just joined it, learned it, and I loved playing the bass. Something about the string instrument, I just loved it. And we would go and play our symphonies, or I don't know what they're called. We would go to other schools to play or play against, and all this competitions and stuff. And I was one of the only ones in our county who had a bass that was playing. And I would have other students and teachers and stuff come up to me, and they'd be like, I've heard that song, or we've played that song before, but you added a different element to that song by adding the bass to it, or playing the bass that nobody else plays. So I kind of felt kind of cool, kind of special. But that bass, man, we went through some trials and tribulations. That is a huge instrument, and he would want us to take it home to practice. Well, I rode the bus, and my dad at the time, he had a Isuzu Rodeo lowrider. So sometimes I'd put the bass on the bus. It's taking up a whole seat or the aisle. It's like a whole person, like that thing needed a seatbelt. Or my dad would come pick me up, and I'd have to put it in the back of the truck, but lugging that thing around. Then I'd get it home, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the house didn't want to hear me in there stringing this big, deep sounding instrument. So it was a time. But I thoroughly enjoyed learning the other instruments as well. It just something sparked in my brain. So when she brought that up, I was like, yo, that's awesome. Like, I should probably look into getting back into that as a hobby while I'm out here. It's something different. It's something that I know I have history with it. Not the bass. I ain't in a room up in here for no bass. But maybe a violin. And you know, I've seen like the videos online of the kid who plays like hip-hop music and has a cool looking violin, and I'm not saying I would do any of that, but it'll be cool to get back into honing those skills and having something to take my mind off of, you know, being out here all the time. Not necessarily lonely. I found that I'm an introvert, extrovert. I'm somewhere in the middle. Trucking is showing me that I'm more of an introvert, and I love being an introvert. And when I was in the Army, you were kind of pushed to be an extrovert. And as you got up in leadership and taking care of people and things like that, you had to step up and be a leader. And when you're a leader and something needs to get done, or you're the highest ranking person around, you especially a senior leader, everybody's looking at you to make a decision. You might not know the decision, but everybody's looking at you to make a decision. Everybody's looking for you to speak up. Everybody's looking for you to be the voice and help them and all this other stuff. But inside me, I'm just this little introvert that doesn't want to do all that. But it was my duty to do it, so I did it. But being out here in trucking, it's just me in the truck. It's just me out here on the road. I mean, granted, other people, but it's just me out here on the road. And, you know, a lot of times I'm in my head, I'm in my thoughts, I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm learning about myself. I feel free out here. And it's crazy to think that I was the one who would always say that I want to settle down somewhere, have a family. I do want those things. But I want to settle down somewhere, have a family, grow up. I wanted to grow up in this, or have kids and have them grow up in the same schools, because those are the things that I didn't have. I was a military career. I had 9 schools growing up. Like, I moved every couple years. But that's also a part of who I am now, and why being out here in the truck speaks to me so much is because I'm used to moving. I'm used to being on the go. And I've actually found out that when I'm sitting somewhere for too long, I kind of get antsy. All right, what's the next move? And I think that was kind of my issue towards the end of my career in the military, was I didn't like where I was at, and there was nothing I could do about it. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I signed the contract in blood. Like, there's nothing I can do. But being out here, I have freedom of choice, freedom of movement, definitely freedom of speech. But, I have all these choices, and sometimes it is overwhelming to be so free. Yes, I have a job. I work a job. But at the same time, there's no boss over here. There's nobody calling me. It's me. I manage my own life. That's why I like trucking. I love this. This has been great. Even on the rainy days, we're maintaining speed now. But even on the rainy days, even on the terrifying backing situations, the breakdowns, it sucks, but at the same time, like, I thoroughly enjoy it. This is the first time in my life that I wake up every day and like this. I was talking to my nail tech, and I was like, she was talking about my energy and stuff. I was like, this is me. I'm happy, joyous, and free every single day. And I've never felt that before, to where I'm just like, yo, let's get it, and truly mean it, and not have false motivation. But like, I'll be like, all right, like today, I gotta get up at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning and go to Houston. Let's get it. What's the adventure? Where am I gonna sleep tonight? What am I gonna see on the road? Is there gonna be traffic? Is there gonna be rain? Are we gonna make it safely with the truck and breaking down and stuff like that? Like, it's an adventure. And I want everything to go smoothly, of course, so I can get that next one. And then I don't even know what I'm doing after that. That's a part of the adventure. Keep me rolling, keep me out here, keep me going, because that's what I signed up for, and that's what I want to do. But yeah, that is like, so this energy out of me is like really me. Like, I am happy. If I'm not recording, I'm listening to some music. I am, like I said, listen to a podcast or something. I don't really have much interaction with other people, which is great for my introvert side of the house. But the interactions I have had with people have been very good. I go to a customer that we have, and I need to stop doing it, but I'll look at the reviews beforehand, like kind of prepare my anxiety for like, all right, what am I going to deal with when I get here? What does it look like? I want to look on the Google Maps. I want to see the streets around it. What's the turn going to be? I want to prepare my mind for where I'm about to go. But then I also want to look at the reviews. What am I going to be dealing with when I get there? What's different about this specific customer? And some of them are very simple. You go in, you might have to slide your tandems to the rear. Here's my pickup number. Here you go to this door, go to this spot, and keep going. And then other ones are like, you have to be wearing this, you have to have this. If this isn't done, then we won't take you. Like, they're very strict on their rules. Or, hey, you have to disconnect from the trailer completely and drop the trailer and pull up in front of it and sit there. Or you have to go and park somewhere else. We'll call you when they're ready. And I know everybody has their rules because of different things that may have happened and their liabilities that have happened. It makes sense. Yeah. In the Army, we used to have a saying about the PT belt. Why do we have to wear a PT belt? Why do we have to wear a reflective belt? Well, probably because somebody got hit by a car. And at Fort Bragg, it used to happen a lot. People used to get hit by cars because they run out of the street or whatever, and cars couldn't see them during those times and hours. So, same thing. Or some of them would have, like, hey, back up to the door, and then, what's it called? You release the red airline, release the airline so that they know that the trailer can't move. And I'm pretty sure what's probably happened, because this last one I went to, that was like that, it had they didn't have the lights to flash green or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure, you know, somebody maybe thought they were empty or thought they were done, and they've pulled out, and there've been a forklift back there or a person back there, and they may have gotten injured. So to mitigate their risk, they say, hey, take this airline lock or whatever, put that on there, and I'll let you know when we're done. So, but I want to prepare myself for that. And I want to prepare myself, like, I look on the reviews sometimes, like, oh, the people at the guard shack or this or that, da 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 da. And for me, when I go to a situation like that, I'd be like, all right, well, they said that this person's rude or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go in here with a positive attitude and a positive mindset and be friendly. And so far, so good. It has worked out for me. People have been very kind. The customers have been very kind. Uh-oh, Prime's getting back, or somebody's getting back on the highway. The customers have been very nice. Hey, have you been here before? Because, you know, they're there every day, and if they haven't seen you, then they know. Have you been here before? I'm like, no, I haven't been here before. All right, well, here's where you go. This is the route, you know, go here, go there. Just giving me all the instructions. And I was like, thank you, I really appreciate that. Which, granted, I know they're doing it because it's efficiency, but at the same time, like, I've been to places where they didn't even tell you where to pick up the trailer, and it's been at a whole nother yard somewhere. That happened to me last week. I looked at the reviews. They were not good. I'm not gonna tell who they were, but I went to this place, the reviews were not good, and the same person was still in that office doing the paperwork. And so when I went in there, it took a very long time, and then another company driver of ours, he comes in, he was like, hey, where you going? I was telling him I was going. He was like, it might be a while because, you know, she da da da. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this jade me. I am not going to have a negative attitude towards this lady. Who knows what's going on? And it was pretty interesting because I was at the window, and she's across the room at her desk and asking me to, like, yell out. She didn't want to get up. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna take that as a negative thing. There could be whatever wrong with that lady where she is still working her job and can't get up. I was like, cool. And I overheard her say something about, I'm really trying to get this guy out of here, but the computer's been going slow. I thought, in my mind, she's sitting there, she's talking this entire time I'm standing here. But in reality, I'm glad I didn't react or say anything or feel any type of way, because in reality, what she said to the other guy that was in there was that the whole entire time she's been talking, the computer's been loading up my paperwork. She's like, I'm just trying to print out this one thing to get him out of here. And so when it was finally done, you know, I signed the paperwork and stuff, and I was like, thank you very much, you know, have a great day. She said the same, and I was like, maybe other people would not have had that same interaction. So yeah, I'm good with that. But I will say, there were trailers out front, and I'm like, okay, cool, my trailer's gonna be out front. she didn't let me know that there were multiple places. There was actually 2 other yards where the trailer could have been. So I drove around the back of the building, came back around front, didn't see my trailer. I stopped one of the yard jockeys, yard dogs, whatever you want to call them, whatever respectful. I say yard jockey. Called one of the yard jockeys, and he was like, oh yeah, we got another yard down there, take this turn. And I found it, and I was like, I appreciate that. And kept going. Boom, boom. Oh, welcome to Tennessee. So I've actually stopped here before where it says no parking. Just because I started really early in the morning and I was really tired, I needed a 30-minute break, and I was parked right about where that truck was. And I know no parking on the on and off ramps in Tennessee. I've heard it, I know it. I was struggling. I needed a 30-minute break, not because of time on here, but because I really needed it. Just to and get back on the road and keep going. But yeah. So yeah, dealing with people has been awesome. Being out here has been awesome. I know that I want to do other videos and things, and I'll eventually get there. But I'm gonna stop this video here, and that's all. Peace, love, and faithful grease.